Hi, Duane Duggan, Remax Boulder Video Podcast. We have a unique time of year this year. The year has ended. 2016 has come and gone. So that means our resident statistician, DB Wilson, has tallied up the year. So DB, thanks again for being here today to tell us how things total up in the year.
Thanks so much for once again having me.
All right, well, let's kick off with how the county did in single family first. And again, this is for the entire year in our 10 areas that we cover.
Yes, it is. And we look at 10 vital statistics, as we call it: number of homes on the market, median prices, average prices, sales price to list price, days on the market, how many total sales there were in 2016, how many expired listings, those properties that came on the market but actually never sold, how many months of inventory we have on the market currently, the percentage that we have under contract currently, and what the interest rates are. We always compare that with the year before, so all of these figures that we're looking at are compared with end of the year 2015.
It's a fun time of year to make that comparison.
It is. It is.
Let's dive into it.
So once again, our inventory is way down. It's dropped another 8%. It's an all-time low since we've been looking at it, which is now 20-some years.
Right.
Consequently, the number of sales is down too. The number of sales is off by about 10.5%. There were 3,163 single-family homes that sold in Boulder County a year ago, compared with 3,539 the year before. This isn't because there's no demand. It is solely due to the lack of inventory, in my opinion. And to reflect that, when you look at the median prices, median price was up 13.8% over a year ago, finishing at $529,000. That's for all of Boulder County. And average price is now a little over $652,000 for the county. So that's up also a little over 13%, 13.3%. Sales price to list price is still 99.3%, up even a little bit better than the year before. Typically that is 95 to 97%, so that shows you that strength of market. Days on the market is almost exactly where we were a year ago, with 2 months on the market, 63 days. That's from list date to closing date. The number of expired listings is off by over 20%, so 95 homes never sold, compared with 122 the year before.
Okay, shows continual strength there too.
It does.
Okay.
And also showing that strength is 44% of the homes currently on the market are under contract. We start seeing appreciation anywhere from about 25% under contract to 30%, so 44 is just really showing that strength. And at the present time, we've only got 1.6 months worth of inventory on the market. A stable market is viewed as 5 to 7 months. If it's over 7 months, it would be considered a buyer's market. If it's less than 5, it's a seller's market.
And we're way below 5, the overall county. Okay.
One thing that I do think is of note for this coming year is interest rates have started to go up a little bit. That cuts down on the buying power for buyers, but still it's only 4.2% is where we finished the year on that, and that's an exceptionally low rate. I mean, it doesn't sound low when you're
at threes, but
if you look at a 40-year timeline, that figure's about 8.5% on average.
Right.
So 4.2 is still a really low rate. What is interesting is that the appreciation rates in the overall county is now exceeding the city of Boulder. And so that just shows that so many people are going to the outlying areas, Longmont in particular, little lower price point, and so a lot of demand there, still not a great supply, and so other areas are now appreciating quicker than the city of Boulder.
Okay, and then within the county, there's not a lot of new construction. There's a little bit, but not enough to really meet the demand.
Absolutely. You know, we've got so much open space, and that's why it's such a pleasure to live in this area. But the amount of available land for single-family homes is very small.
Right, you have to go east to Boulder County.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there are some that came online in the city of Longmont and the like.
Right.
And there's some infill going on. There's some new development in Lafayette. A lot of the new development is attached dwelling.
Right. Good segue into the attached dwelling market. Perfect. Yeah. So how's the attached dwelling market doing last year, Boulder County?
Much the same as single family. Last year at this time, we had only 65 properties in Boulder County on the market, of which 65 or 67% were under contract. So it was very small, and it took a while to actually start increasing. Consequently, the number of sales is off there too, finishing about 9% off of where we were the year before. But we are seeing a little bit of new building in that attached dwelling, like I mentioned, at a significantly higher price points than previous averages, virtually in every area. And so median prices finished up 25%. $345,000. Average prices finished almost $400,000 at $397,000, which is a gain of over 21%. So really high appreciation. That typically is a great place for a first-time home buyer to start, is with an attached dwelling, a condo, a townhome. So there was just an incredible amount of demand, but very little supply, and that's reflected in those high appreciation rates. For the year, the sales price to list price, we finished over 101%. Again, 95 to 97 would be a normal situation. There's currently 1 month worth of inventory, and actually we've got more on the market now, or 100 units for all of Boulder County, compared with only 65 a year ago, as I mentioned, but still very, very small inventory. And 57% of those are under contract. Any
predictions for the new year?
I think it's going to be more of the same. I think there's still a lot of buyers out there. There's a lot of demand and limited supply. Again, in Longmont, we are seeing some new building going on. Louisville has got some new building with attached dwelling, but at a much higher price point even than the averages that I talked about. But I think inventory is going to continue to be a challenge.
It does seem like it's going to be a little better kicking off. I mean, like the last quarter of the year, at our sales meetings, there weren't that many new listings being pitched, where the number of listings being pitched, it sounds like and feels like there's a lot starting to come on, the seasonality of our business.
Yeah, I think as an office, here we are mid-January, and as an office now we're getting up to 20 and 25 new listings a week. And that only is going to get greater as we get into the spring, which is typically the high point of the year for the number of homes coming on the market. So yeah, I think the supply will be better than where we are today, but I think it is, I don't think that we can meet the demand. Okay. I really don't, just because of the lack of new building.
Okay, well, I look forward to next month's report, see how we did in the first month of the new year. So, DB, thanks for being here and give you a report. Appreciate it. Duane Duggan, Remax of Boulder Video Podcast, signing off.